ఇంతియాజ్ గారు.
Sir, good morning, sir.
ఇంతియాజ్ గారు.
Sir, good morning, sir.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్. హోస్ట్ వచ్చారు కదా?
సార్ జాయిన్ అవుతున్నారు సార్.
జాయిన్ అయ్యారు. మీరు స్టార్ట్ చేస్తారా?
ఎస్ సార్. 1 minute సార్. మైక్ ఆన్ చేసుకుని.
Hello.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Imtiaz.
Shall we start, sir?
Yeah, we can.
So hope I'm audible to everyone.
Okay.
Respected Chairman, sir, Director, Hemant Reddy, sir, colleagues in department and other departments, and my dear beloved students. Good morning, everyone. And it's a warm welcome to today's speaker, Dr. Suresh Reddy Jakka Garu. Dr. Suresh Reddy Jakka, with more than 21 years of professional experience, is currently head of the department and assistant professor with Department of Management Studies, Mahatma Gandhi University, Nalgonda, Telangana. He obtained PhD in management from Osmania University. He has published over 30 articles in national, international journals and edited books. He published 3 books. He has presented papers at several national and international conferences and seminars. Dr. Suresh Reddy Garu is an associate editor for International Journal of Retailing and Rural Business Perspectives, and also working as editorial board member for Mustang Journal of Business and Ethics, USA, and Manjira Journal for Social Science Research. Sir is a teacher by choice, and he is a trainer, motivator, and researcher. His research and teaching interest includes especially marketing management, retail management, and quantitative techniques. Dr. Suresh Reddy Garu also organized 3 national level seminars sponsored by Andhra Pradesh State Council of Higher Education, Hyderabad, and University Grants Commission, New Delhi. Dr. Suresh Reddy worked as Vice Principal, Nilagiri Hostel, Mahatma Gandhi University for the academic years 2013 to 15. He worked as Assistant Controller of Examination, Mahatma Gandhi University from 2016 to 18. So is a member, Board of Studies in Management, Mahatma Gandhi University from 2015 onwards. He is a member in various Board of Mahatma Gandhi University, such as Anti-Ragging Committee, Library Committee, etc. He is also a governing body member and selection committee member for various colleges affiliated to Mahatma Gandhi University. And under guidance of Sir, 3 members completed their PhD and 3 members currently doing PhDs. At last but not least, Dr. Suresh Reddy Jakka is a much sought after speaker to keynote speaker, resource person, invited speaker for national, international seminars and conferences. So, sir is with us today. Thank you, sir. So, I'm handing mic to you. Can you start your session?
Thank you, Imtiaz, for nice words about me. Very good morning to the chairman, Ramakrishna Group of Degree Colleges, and Mr. Hemant Reddy and Mr. Imtiaz and other teaching faculty and my dear student friends. Very good morning, all of you, and a warm welcome to all you people for today's extension lecture on marketing strategies in post-pandemic world. As all you people know that we are facing a very, very difficult and ever seen problem in present situation. And I hope the world, as we know, the currently experiencing is one of the greatest challenges since the Second World War. So during these tough times, even we cannot say that the whole situation has come to the normality, and still today morning only, when we gone through the news in America, just yesterday they have registered more than 21% plus variant cases, and even Japan declared the emergency lockdown, and Oman banned 24 flights from 24 countries, and still so many parts of the world are going to take so many precautionary steps to control this pandemic situation, coronavirus. So the COVID-19 crisis is affecting every aspect of our life, including our education system. Today we are arranged a guest lecture on Zoom because of the COVID-19. Otherwise, we happily have a offline class and we use it to interact with each and other. But that situation has gone away, and now we have online meetings, virtual classes. This all happens because of COVID-19. So we all feel compassion for those who are directly affected by the coronavirus or indirectly affected the coronavirus. The society and the economy, the both have largely been brought. Almost every country of the world is in the grip of a recession. Now economies are gone down, and the lives of the people in crossroads, and nobody is happy, and nobody is satisfied with their lives, with their actions, with their activities. So the COVID-19 crisis will have a substantial consequences for our way of living, working, and shopping, and more specifically for the consumer behavior also. This COVID-19 has brought substantial consequences not only in our way of living and working, but also even it has a great effect on consumer behavior. This means this COVID-19 affect almost all businesses, and to able to continue to meet the customers' basic needs and to maintain the employment levels, companies must limit damage. Yes, some noise is coming in here. Yeah.
Sir, sorry to disturb, sir. Chairman,
Okay.
just now Chairman sir joined webinar, sir.
Okay. Welcome to that.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you, sir?
Fine, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. How are you, sir?
Sir, we have to say thanks to you.
Definitely, sir. We together, we travel together.
Yes, sir. You please proceed, sir. You please proceed. Just to say.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. You can proceed, sir.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, This pandemic situation has brought so many changes in our daily life, including the way we shop, the way we live, the way we work, the way we meet the people also. So the changed consumer behavior made the marketers to change the policies of marketing. So this means it is going to affect almost all businesses, almost all people, and almost all activities going to be done in this world. So to satisfy the basic needs of the customers and to maintain the employment levels by the companies and to mitigate the damage by the companies as much as possible, we need to do something. So to do something, the tools which are available is marketing, we can say. Because of doing effective marketing, we can able to increase the levels of employment. We can try to satisfy the basic needs of the customers. And also we can try to mitigate the damage for the companies as much as possible. So in this regard, the COVID-19 and how it is going to be affect the consumers, and it leads to the changes in our marketing policies. So we are going to be discussed in today's lecture. So this COVID-19 crisis is affecting the consumer behavior and thus the way in which marketing can be used. So the consumer behavior and marketing policies are both interlinked. So the use of marketing during the COVID-19 crisis is going to show some similarities with the way the marketing is carried out during the economic downturns. When the economic downturn taken place in past era, how the companies are behaved and what kind of marketing policies they are adopted to bring back the normality in those days. Similar kind of marketing policies we can adopt during this particular COVID-19 period also. So if we are going to be considered the particularly, for example, a downfall in consumption due to lower consumer confidence and lower incomes and consumer defaults on loans and reduced financial means, these all are going to be result a falling of share prices. And the shifting into consumption is going to occurring between the product categories. Means the customer do not have confidence enough to purchase a product. The consumers' incomes are come down and the consumers are becoming default in paying loans and all those things. So these all kind of activities made the customer to shift in their consumption patterns. So this shifting the consumption patterns in different product categories allow the marketing to change their marketing policy. So in parallel to this economic developments and the imposition of social distancing and all these are going to come to change drivers to change the behavior. So consumers are going to be challenged to reevaluate their life priorities. Why? Because the COVID-19 has made the customers to rethink about their way of living, way of thinking also. When the COVID-19 has made the people to rethink and to change their priorities and policies, that is going to give some rise to the new values and also made some changes in their spending criteria also. The purchasing patterns and the expenditure patterns and everything got changed by the customers. Why? Because the COVID-19 made the people to rethink, means they have changed the values also. If suppose earlier they might have to have a habit of saving much more amount of money, but now instead of saving the amount of money, better to survive, better to live happily. And now the patterns of shopping, the patterns of consumer thinking is also changed. Like suppose earlier they used to invest the amount of money on some other creating assets and something else, but now they are mostly investing on hygienic products and health products, and just basically they are going to be spend more and more on family oriented, community oriented, health oriented, and some kind of. So to when these changes are going to be happen in consumers and their priorities are going to be changed, and they are going to be expect these kind of things maybe for a longer period of time also. So this COVID-19 situation has made the people to rethink and to reevaluate and to change their consumer patterns. So when the change is occurred in consumers thinking, as a marketing person, when the consumer behavior is changed, automatically it is the custom of the marketer to change their marketing strategies and marketing policies. Why? Because here customer is the king. If you are unable to act the customer, if you are unable to meet the customer, if you are not going to reach the customer, you are not going to be survive for a longer period of time in the marketplace. So to meet the customer, to remodify the existing marketing policies or existing strategic decisions. So in this way, we can say some of the strategies or policies or some of the ideas how to meet the people in better way. First, we need to connect the consumers. We need to connect the consumers. How? The both consumers and businesses are showing very stronger emotional connections with reliable suppliers in their search for stability and value. The business and customer both are interrelated. The both are not independent entities. Made the people to follow the policy like SMS policy, wear the mask and maintain the social distance or the physical distance and avoid the gatherings. So in these kind of situations, how to connect with consumers? The solution is the digitalization. The digitalization is more important than ever, and it is going to show how consumers what we are using the Zoom technology to meet all you people, where I am in Hyderabad and you people are at Nandyal, but we are able to connect together and sharing the knowledge on COVID-19 and marketing strategies. So like this, the services, Zoom technology, Google Meet technology, we are going to be provide these two and other more technologies are indispensable in many more situations than we were previously aware of. So moral and ethical values are also receiving a greater attention during this particular COVID-19 situation. So while you are connecting to the customers, you need to use the digital technologies, and also you need to be concentrate on moral values and ethical values. And here we can able to say some of the companies like brands, IKEA company and Maggie company and Disney company. And these are the companies are using these particular digital technologies to reach their customers. And also we can observe that their customer are also looking for the reliable information about these particular companies during this COVID-19 through the internet only. So we can use these particular digital services to reach the customer, to meet the customers, to connect with the customers, to develop, maintain a very rich and healthy connections with the customers by the help of the digital services. And the second one is the people are giving a very much priority for healthy living. So the healthy lifestyle and healthy habits inside and outside the home are becoming more important during this particular COVID-19. This is one of the change taken place in consumers thinking what we are observed since last 1.5 years. So here, when the people are looking for the healthy living, even the companies also come up with the holistic approach for the wellness is being adopted. So in their approach, the wellness is must be taken as one of the component, and with that approach, they can able to reach the customers. And one another observation during this COVID-19 is that the middle class and lower class retreat. So as a result of COVID-19 and its economic consequences, we can observe that the middle and lower economic classes are struggling to maintain their economic position and lifestyles. As you people know that even in the last year, we have seen so many labor lower workers who are working in real estate, who are working in building construction of the houses, and who are working in small kirana stores and all other places. They have we have seen a large queues where they are moving from one place to their native places, and even they are unable to receive the proper required basic food facilities also. And even in that particular moment of time also, as you all people know that Mr. Sonu Sood came forward to help at some extent. So this is indicating that the COVID-19 has shown its great impact in the lives of the middle and lower class people. So the unemployment is increased like anything. The unemployment is increased like anything. So then how to retreat this particular middle class and lower class people? So this is going to, this particular middle class and lower class retreat and loss of jobs and increasing unemployment is changed their thinking, and they are not spending unnecessarily. And even this is become very difficult for those people to pay the rental charges, and they are borrowing the money, and we can see that they are going to spend their a little savings of their earlier time period, and they are like a gold and all other things. If suppose any money is there in the bank, they are withdrawing and spending, and the gold is putting and they are getting the money from the these all are indicators for economic downfall. And in this kind of thing, we cannot expect the teacher by the middle class people and lower class people on some kind of luxury things, even for some kind of articles also. So, and this also we need to be considered while preparing our marketing plan. And the fourth one is the shopping reinvent. The social distancing is become a part of our life. We are not interested to meet in a group, and this kind of gesture, the social distancing behavior is leading to a shift to online shopping. Earlier, the online shopping is not in the priority. Kind of product. When 70 to 80% of the people are going for online shopping. Even if suppose during this COVID-19, when if suppose any family person is got affected by this particular coronavirus, even they are ordering the required food for the family also through Zomato, and even they are getting the grocery basket, and even whatever the other products also they are shopping through Amazon and some other platforms, online platforms which are available. So the online shopping behavior is increased during this particular COVID-19. So this is as a result, what we are going to do is that these online stores are experiencing enormous increases in their turnover. So we observe that consumers are not previously familiar with this particular online shopping, but now they are becoming ambassadors for this way of shopping. Now, majority of the people are doing online shopping, and they are also what we can say through their word of mouth marketing strategy, they are reaching to the other people also. Like that, the online shoppers are increasing day by day. So the expectation is that at least a part of the shift to online shopping will be permanent. So now the companies has to change their marketing policies. If suppose so far they do not have any kind of online marketing strategy to sold their products through online platforms, so now it is mandatory and become essential for the marketing companies to now how to get connection with the online platforms to sell their products. So that is become essential for any marketer or any business firm. So this particular COVID-19 crisis is led to move towards buying more locally produced food. Another observation is that looking for the and other products. So now mostly we are looking for the fresh products which are available of the market located places. So the e-commerce platforms are also bringing the local stores and the consumers at one particular place. Even now, the fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, and fresh or whatever, even milk, curd, and all other things are available on online platform, and even they are trying to provide good profits to the local sellers also. So, and another one is that we can observe that a shift to the market frontiers, shifting market frontiers. So here the large cities reach the saturation. Now even if suppose many of you people can observe that in Hyderabad, earlier the Hyderabad is a very crowded city. And even we cannot imagine if suppose we want to travel from Koti to Kukatpalli, it will take a much time. But now that much crowd is not there, and many people are not staying in Hyderabad, and they went back to their home cities, or and they went back to some second category towns, and they are operating their jobs from that particular place only because of the various reasons. For example, some people are unable to pay the rents, and they went back to their villages, and they are doing their local works like agriculture works and some other works which are available there. And for some of the people like IT people, where the IT companies are still today also they are preferring the work from home culture. And whether work from home culture means whether you can be do that particular job by staying in Hyderabad or by staying even in a remote village also. It's not makes any big difference for the employee. So instead of spending much amount of money on rentals to stay in the Hyderabad, so better they are staying to the second cities and their hometowns also. So this particular even the Hyderabad, it is not possible. Hyderabad like cities, I am not just taken as an example of Hyderabad, but during these this kind of cities, maybe maintaining a social distance is also a little bit problem. So to avoid these kind of things, the people are moving from crowded places to the free zones. So this particular social distancing behavior is created and offered some free zones, and they are shifting to the larger cities to mid-sized cities. So you can expect in future very in more percentage also. And also we can observe that certain markets have reached their limits. Both directly as a result of COVID-19 related marketing measures like the travel industry, particularly aviation and cruises, and the restaurant industry, and indirectly as a result of developments mentioned like farming and livestock breeding, intensive agriculture, mining, and fast food. These all are what happens affected by this particular COVID-19. For example, if suppose you take travel industry is have no business, and restaurant industries have no business, because all this happening because of the people are moving from crowded places to free zones and second mid-sized cities, and then when the people are moving from this particular place to other places, even the companies also move where they have to move to that particular places only. So this COVID-19 is expected that what we called instead of negative impact on this kind of industries, it is also having some positive impact on some industries. For example, like entertainment industry, infotainment. For example, during this particular COVID-19, we can able to see that almost all education sector is dependent on online teaching and online classes, and even the people who are not going to the outside and they are not going to the gatherings, they are not going to the functions, then how they are spending, how they are passing their time by sitting at home. So just because of there are so many OTT platforms available like Amazon Prime, Netflix, and so many other OTT platforms are available, and the use of those kind of OTT platforms is increased during this particular COVID-19 at very higher percentage. So for example, if you take Netflix, it is attracted more than 16 million new subscribers between April and June, and the children are attracted games, puzzles, and they are also using the data in a very higher rate. Kind of behavior, some positive signs for some particular industries also there. For example, you can see the digital products increased, and do-it-yourself products increased to 25%, and streaming services and increased to 8%, and consumer electronics increased to 16% during this particular quarter time period only. So all these are going to be reflects that feeling at home is a happy bubble for saving our lives from the COVID-19. So this is what the shift has taken place in customers' thinking. According the customer behavior, consumer behavior, the marketers need to be changed their marketing plans. So here, when we are going to be when we are going to prepare our marketing strategies, we need to consider definitely the consumer changes taking place in the consumer behavior. So how this particular impact COVID-19 is going to be shows its impact on our decision making also. while we are going to be take a long-term strategic decision, the marketing decisions or marketing plans, definitely we need to be consider some of the things. They are definitely our marketing plan must have a purpose. Our marketing plan must focus on some products, and marketing plan must focus on channels, and also must focus on target customers. These are the four things every marketer need to be keep in his mind while preparing the and marketing the while preparing and developing a marketing plan or marketing strategy. Why? Because without having a purpose, now the customer is not coming forward to purchase anything. So we can call it as a purpose marketing. Now, among all kind of marketing strategies, which marketing strategy is going to reach the customers more and more means purpose marketing, or it is also called as a cause related marketing. So when we are spending a rupee means that must have some purpose. Either if suppose because of there is a cause and related product we are going to be purchased. For example, we can see that during this pandemic situation, the pharmaceutical industry has developed like anything. Why? Because everybody, whether required or not required, but they have used the medicines for the COVID-19 for 1 week or 10 days. Why? Because like a vitamin C, vitamin D, and azithromycin, and there are so many paracetamol and all this. So if suppose you may be taken all these medicines because of you got affected by COVID-19, or else you may be taken as a precautionary step to prevent from the COVID-19 also. The both kind of people are there in who are used these particular medicines. And there is a purpose. There is a purpose. If suppose some now you know that there is a mass vaccination is going on in our India. So still the government is make available the vaccination for public, and the government is established number of centers to provide the vaccination. Also, still some people may not be stand in the queue, and some people may not be go to the long place where the vaccination center is available. For such kind of, if suppose some people maybe think about that particular kind of centers may not be good. For such kind of people, the vaccination may be available, made available in hospitals also for charging some amount of money. Means because of their purpose. If suppose they cannot wait, they cannot wait for a longer period of time, they cannot wait for a many more days. If suppose for such kind of people, they can go to the hospital and pay the money and they can took the vaccine. So this is means purpose. When the vaccine is available at free of cost, also some people are going and taking the vaccine by paying some amount of money, because they may be as a precautionary. Suppose we may be got affected by the COVID-19, why? Because we may be go outside for the business purpose and some other things. So better to take the vaccine. Means the purpose marketing. And sometimes the COVID-19 activities maybe benefit the shifts in demand occurring during this pandemic. For example, I can say that Coca-Cola has donated some $120 million to fight the COVID-19, and temporarily the Coca-Cola company is halted their commercial activities. And another one is Nivea is donated some $50 million. And Facebook is also donated some $100 million. And Toyota is also using the dealer network to collect and distribute the medical and other supplies. So like some of the companies also, they are coming forward and they are donating some amount of money because of to create this world as a COVID-free world. So when the purpose is there, when the cause is there, then only the people are going to be purchased. The product. So that's the reason we can reach the people, we can connect the people by doing some purposeful activities also, like how the companies are donated the amount of money to fight with the COVID also. And the next one, we need to be connect the people through the products. Many companies have developed great out of the box ideas that redefine their product portfolios. During this particular COVID-19, so many companies have come up with different and new products. For example, I will give a few examples. DSM, which is a manufacturer company of plastics and nutritional products, this is going to be redefine their product portfolios. And this particular company has produced like face masks and some of the kind of mattresses which we can be used during this particular COVID-19 to keep away the coronavirus. Means they have to redefine their particular product portfolios. Why? Because these new products are on demand, our old products may not be on demand. So now what is possible? What kind of products may be reached to the customers? Either is there any possibility to manufacture such kind of products? When it is possible, when it is in the hands of us, definitely we should go with such kind of products and to get reach to our target customers. And another one is that like in Italy, the artificial snow cannons have been repurchased as arsenal machines for disinfection. And a dry cleaner that uses disinfection cabinets to disinfect clothes has established a new company in partnership with other market players to manufacture disinfection cabinets. So these are subsequently sold to the hospitals, because now even in especially in India, we do not have the hospital infrastructure expected to the population what we have. So in this regard, immediately every company and everyone must come forward to meet the demands by the people who affected by this coronavirus. So the companies also meet their hands with the society and government to bring out the people from this pandemic situation. And even many restaurants also developed some takeaway services, and even they have given, they are provided the free services for some of the people who got affected by the COVID-19. And so like this, we need to redefine our products, how best we can able to serve the customers. And the third one is the product, the company to reach their customers, to retain their customers, to have a better and healthy connection with our customers. We must focus on channels. Channels means promotion. So during this particular COVID-19 crisis, marketing is faced with a major challenge is how do we get the products to buyers? This is why, because even many of the days we are under lockdown, even we are not allowed to travel from one place to other place unless until there are essential products only. So in this kind of a special and specific situation, a major challenging situation, the companies are faced this challenge, and distribution has become a great challenge for so many retail companies and all other companies also, especially like IKEA company, clothing chains, and these all are almost they have closed their business because of this particular shortage of channels. So companies with their own online channel are at an advantage compared to stores that only operate through offline. So just now, even a couple of minutes back also we have discussed that the best solution is the digitalization or digitization, online platforms. So here also when the channel to reach the customer through offline is not possible, better we can go to the online and we can open our websites, and through that particular online channels we can able to meet and we can able to reach the customers at some extent. So here we can also use the some other things. For example, in Netherlands, like HEMA company, where it is an online sales, and it is used some 20 stores as a distribution centers to avoid long waiting times at the central distribution center. What these people have done means, whatever the orders they have received through online, and they are increased the distribution centers, and by maintaining the social distance without waiting much after time, the customer can be pick and go immediately. So these kind of some of the strategies we need to be adopted. And even some stores are also offering some digital sales advice. For example, via through WhatsApp and FaceTime, the people give the orders and they may be delivered to home delivered by the particular shoppers only. So like this, the company, suppose even nearby in our streets also, nearby our home also, so many retail stores. Earlier we used to go to the retail stores and purchase the groceries, but now suppose they have come with a flexible marketing strategy that through WhatsApp just you can be send the list and they are going to be delivering the products. Either if suppose even all the people may not be purchased in the big basket only, but even the nearby our retail shop and the kirana shop owner is also can use the WhatsApp and digitalized platform and some other thing, and they can able to provide better services to their customers. And this COVID-19 crisis is also made painfully that we are going to be dependent on foreign markets, and both for demand and supply side. So for example, even the supply is semi-finished and finished products from China has ceased temporarily, and foreign sales are cut down, they are stopped. So this has made a great demand some of the products. And then the companies who are working in our local and in our nation, and they used to develop their new products to meet the demands of the customers. So for example, even if suppose the electronic goods, all electronic goods are faced a great problem during this particular COVID-19 because of we are not able to receive the spare parts and some other electronic gadgets from the China, and so even laptops and all other the desktops, the rates also increased, the prices are increased, and so these are all made the people to rethink and how to increase their channels to distribute the products. And the local people got so many opportunities when the shortage occurred because of the stoppage of finished goods or semi-finished goods from the foreign countries and outside people. Then we can be utilized such kind of opportunities, and we can be enter into the new markets, new products, and we can able to reach the customers in a better way. That is one. Ultimately, though we have a purposeful marketing and we are redefined our products and we have created a new channels to meet the and connect the people, ultimately we should not forget our target customers. Why? Because in the marketing, the one specific mantra is identifying our target customers. Unless until you are identified the who are your target customers, you cannot define your marketing strategy. You cannot formulate your marketing strategy. Why? Because if suppose like earlier, if suppose if we want to sell the books, we have to visit the educational institutions only. And if suppose we want to sell the vegetables, we want to visit the households only. And if suppose that grocery items or the vegetables we cannot sell at education institutions and some other products not at some other places, means we need for our products who are our target customers, so who are our needy people. So by understanding this particular target customers, we can able to reach the customers more effectively by adopting the appropriate marketing strategies and appropriate marketing policies, and we can able to satisfy the basic demands of those people. If you are failed to understand who is your customer, you cannot define your product, you cannot produce your product. So first of all, we need to try to trace out who is our target customer. Once you are identified the target customer, you can learn or you can understand what are the needs of that particular customer. Accordingly, we can make some minor changes in our products, or we can redefine our product portfolio also. So these are the 4 important things we need to be keep in our mind while formulating our marketing strategies. And the another different issues came up in our marketing policies or marketing strategies are the changing marketing strategies helps the companies and business firms increase sales and their profits. So here we can modify our marketing policies as per the changed behavior of our customers. So in which area we can be change our marketing policy? For example, we can change our marketing policies not only at higher level, strategic level, but also in the fields of assortment, private labels, and pricing strategy, promotion strategy, and communication strategy. If suppose where assortment means many companies are using this particular COVID-19 crisis to critically evaluate the size of the range to increase profitability. Means the breadth and depth of the product line. The companies are trying to evaluate and modify the breadth and depth of the product line, and so that they can able to drop the products which are not useful in the present situation, and also they can be add some new products which are useful to the current situation. So we can observe that there is a substantial changes. There is a reduction in short-term category sales, and where the products are on demand, we can keep those products in more. So when you are going to be reconsider the range of products, definitely that is going to affect our product sales. So the critical evaluation of the supply of products in the assortment is one of the area which we need not to be neglected during this particular COVID-19. So for example, I will tell you, during this particular COVID-19, some majority of the people are avoided the traveling from one place to other place, unless until it is very essential we are traveling from one place to other place. So in this connection, do we really need the short distances flight connections? Instead of that, we can have a train connections. And most of the times during this COVID-19, we are not attending any offline meetings and we are not visiting offices. So mostly the business of wearing business costumes has come down. Business costumes and suits, wearing and doing the work has come down. Then what is increased means the wearing casual clothes and living happily at their homes and doing their work. So we need the assortment of products. So as per the situation demands, how the customers are changing, and when the customers are changing according to the changing needs of the customers, we need to redefine our portfolio assortment. This is one important aspect which we need to be considered. Another one is the private labels area. As all you people know that a private label means that is one product manufactured by that particular retail mall or some other things. These particular private labels are increased during this particular COVID-19. When you compare to the national brands and international brands. Why? Because these national brands and international brands prices are very heavy, and in this particular downturn period, the branded products generally lower and the sales are came down. So in this particular situation, the retail stores or retail malls has come up with their own private labels. For example, you take D-Mart, the biggest retail chain. If you go there, you can also find the Ashirwad atta powder and also a loose atta powder which is made by the D-Mart. So many of the people who are having a price conscious and when the brand image of the D-Mart and Big Bazaar and some other kind of retail malls, the people are going to purchase the loose one also. Means the private label of that particular mall. So this particular COVID-19 crisis has increased the share of the private labels for the different products. And another change we are observed is that in the marketing policy, the price and price promotion. Price and price promotion also. The one surprising how the people are going to find the new ways to promote their ways. Just today morning, I switched on the TV for the news and watched one advertisement. The advertisement belongs to Swati promoters who are engaged in construction of the villas and open plots and all other real estate industry. Just today, first time I watched it, they said they have connected their promotion with a social cause. What is that? The registration charges no more will be charged from the customers who get vaccinated. Now, the government is doing very hard work to get the people vaccinated, but still the response is a little bit less. So here the company has come forward. It is given a way for the registration charges who are purchased the plots in their ventures if they are get vaccinated. So this is one kind of motivating factor for the people. So like this with the new inventions, new ways, we can able to promote our products. So definitely the people have the price sensitivity. So during this particular COVID-19 pandemic situation, we need to come up with these kind of new ideas. And communication is the another one. How to communicate? So the companies has reduced to spend the much more amount of money on communication or normally on advertising. When we have reduced the amount of money on advertisement, then how to communicate? What is the alternative way? Yeah, now we can find the ways, like we can use the social media advertising, and we can use the word of mouth advertising, and we can find such other alternatives. So the companies must come forward to communicate their changed marketing policies or their changed new products, if any, in a different way, but they should not away from the customers. They must have a healthy connection with their customers at all times. So, and also we need to understand the changing consumer behavior, and accordingly we need to change our marketing policies. So we all know that in a general observation, definitely in the future, the customers are going to pay much more on their daily groceries and healthcare, and like that essential products. Even if suppose once the people become free from the corona and still they take the precautions, so the transport business also maybe have a good future, and even the educational institutions also come up with the new ways like online teaching, or else we have to find out different new ways. So when the consumer behavior is changed, we need to adopt the different marketing policies. But ultimately, when we want to change the marketing policies, when we want to adopt the new marketing strategies, definitely we must have a good leader, marketing leader, because we can connect. A strong leader will prepare the better strategies. Because now, during this particular pandemic, what is the toughest test for everybody is how to bring back the environment normal, and how our leaders, means who are going to lead the company, either in the marketing area or some other areas, how strong they are going to adopt their new policies. Right? Because without strong leader, it is not possible to implement a new policies and a new approaches. So that marketing leadership must come up with new innovation and unique attacking style. When we compare with other competitors, we must have a unique style. We must have a new approach, and we must have a strong commitment and determination on our new policies. Why? Because all these new policies are not proven earlier, which we are adopting specifically for this particular crisis. For example, I will quote one example happens in the year of 1966. In 1966 World Cup football, the Brazil company is not done well. Almost the star player Pele from the Brazil are failed to perform, and he is fouled frequently and kept away from the game, and it has returned from the World Cup at the initial stages only. Then many of the people thought that, yeah, the Brazil glory has gone and the Brazil may not come up. But if suppose you see, when after 4 years, again in 1970, the same Brazil team is came widely with new approaches, with new policies, and they have taken the pitch, but in most beautiful way, and Pele was named as a player of the tournament. And they have must formulate the strategies from the failures. Of course, during this particular COVID-19 has made to learn the lessons from the failures. Why? Because success means not only going to achieve one after other. In other terms, success is learning from one failure to other failure also. So why? Because this is a new situation which we have ever seen and never seen. So during this particular kind of pandemic situation, we need to adopt new, innovative and creative situations. So what are such kind of creative situations adopted by a few of the companies? I will explain you now. Yeah. New companies. One marketing strategy I will tell you. Co-optation. Co-optation means collaborating with the competitors. Normally in our marketing, what we do, we always see our competitors as our enemies. How best we can keep away from the market and we move ahead in the market. But now during this particular COVID-19, instead of keeping away our competitors, if we work along with the competitors, what happens? Why? Because ultimately the objective of every business is to satisfy the customers. The objective of every customer is to satisfy the customers. So here the company named as Dunzo, D-U-N-Z-O. This Dunzo is a delivery service player which is going to help in delivering food, groceries, medicines, and just about anything from one point A to point B. So this Dunzo's company made a successful marketing campaign launched during this particular COVID-19, where especially the lockdown prevailed, built a good strategy called co-optation. Very useful to the customers. And how this particular co-optation strategy worked out in much better way. So take the digital campaign, which is educated customers about the delivery options available for medicines. During lockdown, many of the people are unable to visit the medical shops and to get the medicines required for them. So then at that particular moment, this particular Danjo company delivered the medicines to the customers. And even not only medicines, food or whatever the required things. So here, this particular superheroes campaign facilitated mutual support and of course shared the resources, infrastructure for successful and safe delivery of essential items. The Danjo company, they have taken a help from their immediate competitor and also helped them to facilitate mutual support and share the medicines, food, grocery, or whatever the things from one point to another point. For example, the competitors in the campaign like Swiggy and Zomato. This Swiggy and Zomato, the both are going to be deliver the food items. So here, how this particular strategy is worked out means they have taken from, suppose where the Swiggy is persons are available, they are moved that particular product from point A to point B, and from that particular point B to point C, the Swiggy people are not available in that particular area. Why? Because there is a shortage. But the Zomato may have the person in that particular area. Then they are taken a help from the Zomato, and from point B to C, that product is delivered by the Zomato. Means here, the both Swiggy and Zomato people in connection and in mutual help, they are delivered the good from point A to point C. From point A to B, only Zomato people are available, Swiggy is not available. From point B, people only available, Zomato people are not available. But the Zomato company is received an order from the customer living in point C, but and that hotel or something is else which is located in point A. So in this kind of difficult situation, the co-optation strategy is worked out in much better way to deliver the products from any place to any place. And another one is that ability to adapt. This is also not a new concept in our business. So we must have a proactive teacher since millions of years, and we need to adopt the change. And while adopting the change, we need to eliminate what are the things we are not required now. For example, you see in the Punjab, the South India Textile Research Association taken order from the other businesses, provide the personal protective equipment, that is called PPE, to supply the PPEs. Why? Because where the clothing business is almost closed kind of situation, this particular Textiles Research Association received that order and they have prepared this particular PPEs, and this is provided employment to almost all 2 lakhs people in the Punjab. About 2 lakh PPEs per day. They are produced 2 lakh PPEs per day, and they have provided a great employment for many more people who lost their jobs, who lost their employment during this particular COVID-19. Means we need to excuse me. We need to adapt. We must have the ability to adapt the new things. And another one is that we have to, another example for adopting the new things, for adopting a new ability to adopt the new things is that some laundry services. For example, where the 5-star hotels, almost the restaurants business has come down during this particular COVID-19 situation. And at 5-star hotels, known for their exclusive but relatively expensive service among the business. But this particular COVID-19 created a worst situation for them, and there is no business for the 5-star hotels. And there are so many staff layoffs, and the maintenance cost increased. So during this particular time, when they are driving to the wall, some of the hotels have taken a different kind of business. What is that? They have trying to provided some kind of infrastructure facilities for banking and other market segments, and also they are offered laundry services. Why? Because in 5-star hotels, the laundry facility is available. So when they are asked for some of the companies for the bankings and who are providing essential services and working every day in the COVID-19, and hygiene, by having a unique selling proposition of the 5-star hotels, that hygiene. We provide laundry services with hygiene. Means the hygiene concerns of the people COVID during this particular COVID-19. Right? Because everybody wants to maintain hygiene. Everybody must keep away from the infection. So this particular situation is adopted by the 5-star hotels and in Pune and Gurgaon especially, and they are provided laundry services for some special sectors who are working on the basis of essential services, and they are become successful. And for example, like the 5-star hotels such as Cornered Pune and Hyatt Regency in Gurgaon, and these 2 companies have adopted this kind of offering new services. And even the another is that one I already told you, the success means not only achieving one after other, but also sometimes why? Because during this particular COVID-19, we must have a dare to adopt the new strategies. But what are the consequences of the new policies? We do not know. But we sometimes a failure also will give a good lesson to us. Why? Because always we know that success is a very lousy teacher, but failure is also teaches the best lessons for one every time. For example, you know that Kent company is come up with one atta and bread maker machine, and that atta and bread maker machine they have promoted by saying that automation taking care of hygiene. Why? Because during COVID-19, the people are health conscious and everybody is concentrated on hygiene. So when they are concentrated on hygiene and they are health conscious, and then these particular people come up with this particular atta and bread maker machine, and they have advertised in such a way that are you allowing your maid to knead atta dough by hand? Means atta dough by hand. So when your maid is doing the auto by their hands, there is a chance for the infection. So her hands may be infected. Why? Because she may be, the maid may be coming out and she, where she has gone and you do not know. That's the reason, by keeping that in the mind, they have given this particular statement that are you allowing your maid to knead atta dough by hand? Her hands may be infected. But in this social media is outraged, but this particular portrayal. Why? Because this they want to convey to their customers that our machine is gives you a hygiene bread, but in reverse, this particular strategy or communication is conveyed at outside, like housemaids are the infection carriers. Why? Because there lakhs of people are working as a housemaids, but this particular promotion is affected a lot on housemaids. So, and moreover, this particular ad is done by the popular actresses Hema Malini and her daughter Isha Dayol as campaigners. So this was criticized by the people in social media and a lot. That's the reason when we are going to communicate with our product, when we are going to communicate our policies, we need to think very consciously what kind of consequences may come up by communicating in this manner. And this kind of failures also gives us a very good lessons to while formulating our marketing policies, either for product manufacturing or price marketing strategy or marketing communication strategy or whatever it is. These are the some of the insights from my side, what I am observed, how the companies are behaved during this particular pandemic situation to survive and to come up with new policies and to change their marketing strategies. And with this, I will stop here. And now, if anybody have any clarifications, and if you people also maybe come across with a different experiences, and you can also observe some new things during this particular pandemic situation, and you can also, if suppose any new things come across by way of yours, so you can also share. Yes, Imtiaz.
Sir. Sir, guidance.
Yeah, Mr. Imtiaz.
Sir.
Yeah, these are the inputs insights from my end, and now suppose you people can share or you people can be asked and we can.
Yes, sir. Let me ask the questions from students.
Yeah. Well.
Dear participants, thank you for participating. And if you have any doubts or questions, please raise your hand here. Otherwise, you can text a message in chat box. I will forward to sir.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Very good morning.
Sir, this is Hemant, sir.
Yeah, sir. Good morning. How are you?
Sir, I'm good, sir. How are you, sir?
Fine, sir.
Sir, I'm very happy to see you on this webinar.
Thank you very much, sir. You are given the opportunity to see you all you people also once again.
Thank you very much, sir. And we do have our director, sir, joining this meeting from starting of this webinar, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Director, sir, can you unmute your mic, please?
Hello. Oh,
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Suresh Reddy Garu has explained the marketing strategies. I've been listening to him right from the beginning till now.
Sir.
He has illustrated this a variety of marketing strategies with lots of examples and in a right perspective to understand the students, of course, and with his experience and with his specialization in marketing, I think that itself reveals the expertise of Dr. Suresh Reddy Garu. And we are very thankful to you for having accepted our invitation and then spent your valuable time with us. And
Thank
of
you,
course, I hope and trust our students also must have received a lot of information from you. And we look forward many such kind of interactive sessions in due course of time.
Certainly.
Thank you very much, Dr. Suresh Reddy Garu.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you once again.
Yeah. I request from the students, if you have any doubts or any queries to ask Director Sir, can please unmute your mic, or else you can text a message in chat box. I can convey to the resource person.
Okay, you people can convey even in later also, if suppose
Yes, sir.
even through you give their my WhatsApp number also in case.
Dr.
Sure.
Dr. Suresh Reddy Garu,
Yes, sir.
sometime back I visited, of course, long back when Gangadhar Garu was a vice chancellor,
Sir.
and Mr. Reddy, I don't remember his name.
Yeah, Mutyam Reddy Garu. Mutyam Reddy, sir, registered.
Mutyam Reddy. I stayed in his house.
Yes, sir.
I delivered some lectures about a weekdays.
Sir.
I stayed with him.
Sir.
I remember it was in the old campus. The new campus is ready now.
Yes, sir. Now we are in new campus only.
Oh, okay. Even that old campus building was also good. It was a very good architecture.
Now we are running engineering college, sir, in our old campus.
Okay. Very nice to see you. Thank you.
Sir. If suppose this pandemic is over, definitely we will have a class with you also, sir, at our campus once again.
Sure.
Sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
And students, if you have any doubts, please kindly raise your hands. We'll unmute your mic so you can interact with the professor. Students, if you have any doubts, please raise your hands. We'll unmute your mic and you can have interaction with the professor. Sir, I think there's no questions from the students because your explanation was pretty good and very.
Yes, sir. Nobody have any doubts.
Okay, sir.
It's clear. So, Director Sir, can I propose to vote of thanks?
It is my pleasure to express my great sense of gratitude to Professor G. Ramakrishna Reddy Garu, the chairman of Sri Ramakrishna Institutions, for this talk. And I also now thankful to Mr. Hemant Reddy Garu for taking this initiative to organize this meeting with Dr. Suresh Reddy Garu. Very well presented talk with lots of examples. And once again, I will also now thankful to Dr. Suresh Reddy Garu for having accepted our invitation and also delivered a good structured lecture with lots of examples. I'm really on behalf of the Sri Ramakrishna Degree and PG Autonomous College, Nandyal, we express our gratitude and the deep sense of gratitude, of course, to you, sir, and we look forward this kind of interactive sessions in due course of time. I would also thankful to Imtiaz Garu for having taken this initiative and also organizing this as a coordinator. Imtiaz Garu, thank you very much. And I also now thank all the participants. I hope and trust they must have noted down all the important points, whatever the points that have been delivered and discussed by Dr. Suresh Reddy Garu till now. I think they must have noted down the important points and grasped the important, the quintessence of the marketing strategies which have been revealed till now. Thank you for making this webinar a successful webinar today. Thank you, Indias Garu, and thank you, Hemant and team. Nice to see you.
Thank you, sir. Let me convey the last thing. I request you participants can please fill the feedback form having chat box, each and everyone. I once again thanks to our speaker, resource person, Dr. Suresh Reddy Garu. My bottom of hearts, I very thank you, sir.
Okay, Indias, may I leave now?
Sir, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you to all.
Sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.